Okay, so today's session we are going to discuss about how to format the workbook, the sheets, and so we have seen fonts and all. So we have discussed about some of the features. So we in this session we are going to discuss about how to format the workbook and how to format the worksheet and how to format the text numbers and how to resize the tables and all. So formatting is also plays a vital role in Tableau. Why? Because so the presentation is much more important than the calculations and all. Like so, whatever calculations and everything that we prepare, so we have to present in a good way so that it looks good and right. And so let's go to formatting our work. So let's get started. Okay, so basically before starting to format, so there are some themes that are available. So by default, it will be shown as default. And so there are three other models we have like previous, modern, classic. So let's click on previous. Okay, so you see there is some change. So if I put customer name, so you can see some difference in the font. So I'll just make the resolution bigger. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that there is some difference in the font, and I'll go to format and change the theme and make it modern. So there is different like all the, so whenever you drag something into the dashboard or worksheet, so you can see the difference. So let's change the workbook theme to classic. Okay, so there will be some type of colors, some type of alignment, and everything will be changed based on these themes. So these are about themes. If you want, you can use the themes, or if you want, we can do as many formatting changes as possible. So let me just create a table chart for now. So now that we have customer name, so instead of this one, we'll just create a simple chart where we'll have region, simple tabular chart I will create, region, category, and subcategory, and I'll take sales and profit, so that I can see the values over here. Okay, so here I'm able to see the region, category, subcategory wise sales. So now we will see how we can format this. So as you see, there are no borders for this worksheet. So if you see, there are no borders attached for this one. So we can design in such a way that there will be no, we can put some borders and all. So let's see. So these are the 5 important formatting changes that we can do. We can make changes for font, alignment, shading, borders, lines. So these are the 5 very important formatting changes. So font is nothing but, so you can select from all this font, you can select whichever font you think is better, you can use. So if you are using one type of font in your organization, so you need to use that font for your entire all the dashboards that you use. Let's say if I'm using Tableau book 9 point, so I need to use for these details and all, and for headers I should be using 10 point or 9 point, and for titles here it is using 15 points. So you can see this is bigger than, title is bigger than the values. So with that we can identify that, I mean, so this is the normal strategy that I'm following right now. So while I'm preparing, so I'm preparing all my dashboards with this setup. So worksheet is having Tableau book 9. So this is the font name. So if you want to put some Arial or different font, Algerian, yeah. So if you want to change to different font, you can change it here. So if you change it in the worksheet level, it will change for the worksheet. And let's say I have selected for worksheet, and in pane I want to see different font. So I'll select Arial Black. So pane is nothing but the values that we show. So this is called as pane. So in pane, if you want to see different font, so then you can select different font there, and you can increase the size of the letters, and you can keep bold, italic, underline, and all this. So here I'm doing for headers. So headers are nothing but, so where I mean these columns which are dimensions, so those will be your headers, and whatever is there in the measures will be, that is called as pane. I mean, in the scenario of this one. So let me just take an example. Okay. So in Tableau's, how it will take is, so this it will consider it as pane. Whatever is in whatever measures that are there, so these will be considered as pane, and all these three things will be considered as, all these three dimension values will be considered as headers. Okay, and okay, so if you want to change these headers, so you can select header, and if you want to make it bold and remove the underlines, so you can make these changes. I'm just showing you so that if you want to change it in your data or in your dashboard, so you can make changes accordingly. And you, if so, wherever you maintain, so if you have to maintain across everything. Let's say if I'm taking Algerian into consideration, so you have to put, for pane also you can put Algerian only. But in some cases, user might tell you uh, to put in a different font. So that's, in such cases you can use different font for pane and different font for headers. And when you hover on this, you see a tooltip. So tooltip is the font of tooltip is Tableau Book 10 point. So there is, for each and every data point, or wherever you scroll, so there is a font for each and every name. So you can, so there will be a name assigned for that particular demonstration. Let's say for tooltip, you can change it here. For headers, for these columns and all, you can change it here. For pane, you can change it here. So now let me change for tooltip. I'll make it as Algerian. Yeah. And the same way, if I want to change it for title, I will change it here for title. Yeah. So this way we can change, we can make use of that. And here you can see total. So total, so here we are not showing total anywhere. So let me just show you. To show total of this profit and sales in the bottom, so we need to go to analysis, go to totals, show column grand totals. So here you can see the column grand totals. Let's say all these are in same font, even grand total and total are in same font. And so as it is a total of all these values, so you can show some difference between this and this font and this font. So I will just increase, or I will make it bold, and I will make it size also a little bit bigger than the others. Okay, so that it will look like a total. So this I have changed in pane. I want to show this grand total also little bit bigger. So that is header. So the names, whichever it stores the names, that is called as headers. So here I want to make it bigger and make it 14. Yeah. So this way I can show the grand total in a different manner. So that's how I can make the changes. So this is for sheet. So whatever I have done here, so that is for sheet I have done. So so there will be three types of options that are available. sheet, rows, and columns. Okay, so if you are doing it for sheet, so it will be for entire sheet. And if you want to separately do it for rows and columns separately, so rows are this one, and columns are nothing but subcategory, category, region, profit. So for columns and rows, if you want to do it separately, then you can do it. So now I'll show you how this will be different across. So put an underline. So if you see, this is the headers. It is giving underline only for headers which are there in rows. So all these names are there in rows, only to that it is giving. So whichever is there in columns, it is not giving any underline. So yeah, so basically this is doing only for rows. And if you want to put some underline for, or if you want to put highlight, or if you want to show separately the column values, go to column and say underline for column. So so whichever consists of names, so those are called as headers. So I have used underline for that. So only columns headers will get underlined. So in this way we can separately do some font changes for columns and rows separately. Or if you want to do it together, you can use sheet sheet level formatting. So instead of using rows and columns, you can just use sheet level formatting, where it will apply to the all the worksheets. So now that we have seen how to change font across sheet, rows, and columns. So across sheet, rows, and columns. So now we will see about how to do alignment across sheet, rows, and columns. So now I'll take same example. I'll take a category, region, category, subcategory, and sales, profit. Okay, so now that we have seen about font, so now let me start alignment. So alignment is basically, so if you want to keep the center aligned or left aligned or right aligned. So if you see in my Excel, so you can see these options, alignment options. So you can say left align or right align or center align. So in this also you have down, up, and if you want to keep it down. So these are the alignment changes. In the same way, whatever changes that we can do in Excel or in Word, same thing we can do it for Tableau also, Tableau tables as well. Here are the same options which are available. So pane is nothing but these values as we discussed earlier. So these values will be considered as pane, and whichever has the names, those will be considered as headers. The profit, sales also considered as headers. I mean, these names, profit name, sales name is considered as headers. Region, category, subcategory, all those will be considered as headers. Even this central furniture bookcases, whichever has names, it will be considered as header. In this uh, formatting changes, we will consider as that one. So now let's see if I make a change for font. So I want to make it center aligned. So you see these numbers got center aligned. Otherwise, if you want to keep left aligned, you can keep it like that. And so up and down, you can, you want to keep it middle, down, up, like that. And you can change the direction also. You can put it like this. You can, so the direction call also you can change. some technical issues. Usually it will show. Okay, so pane you do it. So usually it shows the opposite direction of this one. So A is turned towards left side and A is turned towards the right side. So anti-clockwise and clockwise. And if you want to show it this way, so it depends on the requirement. So in some cases, if the data is aligned in a different way, then you can make use of those things. And header is something where you can make the alignment changes for the names and all, the region, category, subcategory, profit and sales. So just click on this and you can do center alignment, left, top, bottom. So if you see this one, central was there previously on the top. So now it is central line. And if you want to keep it in the bottom, you can keep it in the bottom, or top, you can keep it like that. And as you know, wrap function is also available. So I will just show you how wrap function works. Let's say you have a sentence like this. Okay, and you have column like this. Okay, so when you do wrap, so it will take the space which is available and it will adjust accordingly when you do wrap. So in the same way, even we can do wrap also in Tableau. So if you have some data which is not fitting, so when you do wrap, you can see like this. Otherwise, it won't come in the right format. Otherwise, it won't show the correct value. If you do wrap, it will adjust in the space that is there. If you see the bookcases, when I do wrap on, you can see bookcases with the full-fledged name, you can see. When I do off, so you can't see that bookcases full name. So in that way, we can make changes for the font, alignment and all. And in the bottom, we have total. So to keep totals, we go to totals and show column grand totals. So we can make the arrangement accordingly. So here also you can arrange total. For pane, you can make it center. Header also you can make it center. So in this way, you can show the data for alignment as well. So here also we have rows and column. So rows, you go to rows. So if you want to keep alignment for rows separately and for columns separately, so then you go for here and we do it separately. So header is nothing but as I mentioned earlier. So it is just taking the consideration of the names which are there. And as I said, rows. So whichever is there in rows, only uh, those will be happen for the alignment changes and all. So let me just, yeah. So all this will be applied only for the rows and which are names, which are the headers. And when you do this wrap off, you don't see this names perfectly. And when you do this wrap on, you can see the names perfectly. And yeah, in rows also we have totals. So if you want to make changes, you can make it. So like this, you can make the changes. So if you see only the bottom total one is only changing. So like this, you can make changes however you want to show in the data. So that's about alignment. So now we have discussed about, so for every type of font, for every type of formatting changes, this sheet, rows, columns will be similar. and you can see header, pane, and total, grand total, everything will be similar across all these 5 things. So you need to understand what is called as pane, what is called as header, and what is called as rows header, and what is called as columns header. So I will tell you exactly. So as I have taken the screenshot, yeah. So this thing is called as column headers, and all these names. Okay, the names which you see here, all these names are called as row headers. And these numbers that you see, are called as pane values. Okay, so if you know these things, so you can apply alignment, or you can apply font, shading, all those formatting related things you can apply based on that. So if you want to highlight column headers, bold or something, you can highlight column headers, and you can take row headers. Row headers you want to show different font, and pane values if you want to show different font. So there will be separate separate options available for column headers, row headers, and pane headers, and all pane values. So we need to know all these things where it is, when we make any changes in these options, so where the change is happening, so that we need to know. So that process, so this is same across all the formatting changes. So in all the formatting, so we have 5 types of formattings: font, alignment, shading, borders, and lines. In all this 5 types of formatting, we use same funda. So we need to know this thing, what are called as column headers, what are called as row headers, and what is pane, and what is total and all. So total will be on the bottom, and how we can create a total, go to totals and show column grand totals, so that we can see the show column grand totals. Okay, now we'll see about shading, or you can say if you want to color anything, so we can do this. So worksheet means it will color the entire worksheet. So if I want to color a light blue color, okay, so entire worksheet is getting color. So if you color the pane, so okay, Sandeep, can you tell me which, if I select any color for pane, which area will get colored? Yeah, perfect. So I'll make it a different color. Okay, I will tell you why this is coming by one after the other. And Ravi, can you tell me if I color header, which one will get colored? Yeah, even this row values will also get colored. Yeah. So this is in sheet level, so it will get colored. If you go to rows will be different. Only this part will get colored. Columns, if you go to column headers, only this part will get colored. In sheet level headers, so in sheet level, all this, whichever is colored in a different color, all this will be considered as sheet level headers. Okay. So now you see there is a difference. So even I colored this pane with a blue color, but not all rows are colored with the blue color. So there is a reason why it is not colored with a blue color. So here you see the row banding. So by default, it's set to second point. So this is just to show there is a difference between first row to second row. I mean, there are rows. So by default, they have been set to second point. If I make it to 0 point or 1 point, So you can see that blue color which we have sent it. So this basically what this band does is it will color one after the other. If you make it two, two after two. If you make it three, three after three, four after four, five after five. So this is also depending on the requirement. You can make use of this band. So or if you don't want to use this band, you can make it normal. So if you use this band, and you can select the second color as well. So we have selected the first color, which is blue. We have selected, sorry, light green. And here you can select the row banding color, which is different one. Yeah. So here you can select. And in header also, you see there is a different color. So header also you can change. So this way. Or if you don't want any band, so you can just remove. So that's the importance of row banding. Mhm. You were telling in the concept of when we were discussing about reference lines, right? So in that case, that is called as pane. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, but in this case, they are, I mean, and while doing the formatting changes and all, so in this case, they are not considering it as a pane. You were talking in the sense like if you take sales category, subcategory. Okay, in this case, it is pane. This furniture is pane. Category office supplies is one pane. So the concept in reference lines is different, and in formatting, it's different. That's why I have shown it here clearly. So here in this case, only the numbers are considered as panes, and whichever has names are considered as headers. So that is a strategy for this formatting. Is it clear? Yeah. I mean, they are using it like that. So let's say shading, right? So if I make changes for pane, this pane, okay, only this part will change. Only the area which is there with the values will change. If I change, or if I make it blank or like color, yeah, only the numbers will change. So in formatting case, only these numbers are considered as pins. Other than that, everything is considered as headers. And in headers also, there are row headers. So these are called row headers. The names which are there in rows are called as row headers. The names which are there in the columns, region, category, subcategory, profit, sales, these are considered as column headers. And so I will show you a difference. So if I color the row headers in a different way, only this will be colored, this part. So only this below part will be colored. So let me just change. You can see the difference. Only this part is getting colored. And if you go to column headers, region, category, subcategory, profit, sales will get colored. I will just color it to different color. Yeah, so you can see that those colors are getting colored. And here, if you want to color these headers, you need to go to sheet and you can color it here. Okay, so Sorry, can you repeat that question if you want to? Yeah, correct. For each and every region, you want to color a different color. We can color, but there is you can apply some levels. So if you see, there is a level here. I'll change the level. Okay, so if I change the level from here to here, okay, so now each and every subcategory is getting colored with a different color. Okay, only those things can be done, but for region one color and category one color, subcategory one color, that we can't do. That conditional type of coloring we can't do, but there are some level type of colors that you can do. So in this case, you can say region is each and every region is colored in a different color. Central is colored in a east, and after east, south is colored in one color. So after south, west is colored in some color. And if you go to next level, see it will be based on subcategory like this. Yeah. So the one which you told is not possible. Like for region, you can't keep one color and all. So one by one, like so the band size wise, you can color it. So if you take one band, so it will be one after the other. It will color a different color. If you keep two, two after two, three, three after three, like this, it will color. So it's better you don't use any this thing band so that it will look clearly. Okay. So okay, this part is considered as sheet headers. These three are considered as sheet headers. Sheet headers. And this part is considered as, I'll just take a new one. So if you know this thing, which is called as sheet header and which is called as row header and all, so then that will be easy for you to do the formatting and all. Okay, so I'll take a red color. So these are called as row headers, sorry, column headers. And these are called as, I'll take some different color. These are called as sheet headers. And these are called as row headers. And these are called as pane values, or you can say pane. Okay, so if we understand this, so based on this, you can do formatting like font changes or fade shading, alignment, all those things you can do if you know which is called as column headers, which is called as row headers, sheet headers and all. So with this we can font anything. Yeah. So now that we have seen this one, column banding, so you can do column banding as well. Okay, for each and every column, you can put a banding. So pane is nothing but these numbers. So that's why it is giving you different color. So I'm doing this color change. If I make it green, so you can see this. So here the band size is 2, and that's why you can see one after the one color. If I make it 1, So you can see one color. Yeah. So if you make it like, and here header also you can change. Okay, so here header is also getting changed. So column header, as we discussed earlier, column header is nothing but this one. Only this column header is getting changed. So that's about column banding. Yeah, so column header. So column header is having this color. So now let me change it to, yeah. So you can change the see the difference. So if you want to change the color of these three, go to sheet header and select that. So when you select sheet header, everything will get selected, and say okay. Even in the rows header also you can change. Okay, so when you do row header change, only row headers will change. This will not get impacted. So when you say sheet header, this will consider both. Okay, so sheet header is a combination. Okay, so basically sheet header is combination of this one. This entire part is called as sheet header. Sheet header. And for row header, so you can separately change the row header color. So in that way, we can keep separate color for row header and this top region category subcategory. So that way we can color this thing. And now we will do the borders. Okay, so now we will see the cell, pane, and header. So now let's see how we can change for cell. Or let's go to this sheet. Let's take the same example, region. Yeah, row headers. Yeah. Row headers are measure values. Yeah. Uh, no. Column headers will be this measure values headers only. Yeah. So what here you can see that, right? Mhm. So this sales and profit red color, that those are column headers, and this yellow color, this region category and subcategory, those are sheet headers. So in sheet headers, it will include this below values also. Furniture, office supplies, bookcases will also include. And this green part, you can see this green part, right? So those are row headers. Yeah, in sheet headers, it will include this row headers and this region category, subcategory columns also. Hmm. No, column headers will be again this one, right? This part is called as column headers. So there is no separate name for this header. This region category, subcategory, there is no separate name that I would say. Okay. So sheet headers will have row headers also. Row headers plus you can say column names of row headers. Okay, it's a combination of row headers plus column names of row headers. What are the column names for furniture category? What are the column names for bookcases, chairs? Subcategory. And what do you call as column headers? Yeah, sales and profit. Measures, you can say. Mm, Measure names, yeah. So only these two you can call as column headers. Other than that, sheet headers only. In that, you can see row headers separately. Yeah. So that's about so if you know this approach, so you can use it for all the font, all the types of formatting. You can follow this thing across all the formatting changes. So now let me go to format, and now let's do borders. Okay, so click on cell. Yeah. So this will do the borders for each and every cell. So cell is nothing but this one, this data point. And click on this and make the border. So yeah, here you can make the border. And if you I will take one more profit also and take format and click on borders. Yeah, so it will give you lines across. And when you do pane, so as we have already done this, let's do headers. So you can color the headers. So this way, let's say do none. Okay. So currently we don't, let me make everything as none. Row divider none. Column divider none. Okay, so basically we don't have any borders right now. So now let's start keeping borders. So I have removed everything. So if you put borders for this one, so you can see borders for this. For each and every measure, you have a border, and there is a separate line you can get for this column headers. So that will be separate version. I mean, so in separate place you can get that. So that is why it is not shown here. And if you go to pane, so let's see for pane separately. Okay. So it is coloring the panes. It is coloring only this category, office supplies, technology, furniture. So the concept which we have seen in the reference lines. So in borders, it works like that. So you can see the pane is getting the borders. Okay. So Preet, you have asked about this pane thing, right? So here it works as a normal pane. In the previous case, it worked, the pane is nothing but the values which you see here. And in this case, the pane is considering the office supplies, the furniture, technology, all this being considered. Now, but I don't want to separate or I'll put borders for this panes. And I'll take cell with this small borders. For each and every category or for every category, I want to see thicker borders. For rest of them, I want to see the lighter borders. And header. So when I say header, so sheet header, when I said, so it is considering the entire thing. So sheet header is considering the entire thing of this. So let me just, yeah. So it is taking the entire thing. So sheet headers are getting covered. And row divider. So row divider is nothing but, so I'll just show you, click on this. I will put some different color. Okay. So this is called as row divider, where the row is getting divided, and you can put the levels. Okay, so first level is here the row is getting started. So first level is that. Second level is region, and third level you can see the category. And if you see the fourth level, that is subcategory. So based on the levels, you can divide the row. So first level, you won't see any regional level row divide. If you click on second level, you can see regional level, and third level category, fourth level subcategory also will be included. And in the same way, we have column divider as well. The column divider will divide like this. So now let's see column divider. Yeah. So you can see the column divider. So in column divider, only these profit values are getting considered as columns. So these are headers. And let me just, yeah. So these values will be considered as column dividers. And now let's go to row. So in the sheet level, everything will be considered as sheet headers. This region, category, subcategory, central, furniture, bookcases will be considered as sheet headers. So if you want to separately put some borders for this and separate borders for sheet column headers, region, category, subcategory, so you can do separately. So this is for pane that I'm doing, and go to header. So if you do it for header, it will apply to the header values. So these are the sheet rows that I'm applying. If you go to the columns, you can apply to the column headers. So this way you can make the changes. So so by using these columns, rows, sheets, you can design however you want to. So I'll just take a pause so that if you have any questions. Lakshmi, can you tell me how to show totals, how to show grand totals? Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 So by showing the grand totals, we can show the grand totals here. Yeah. Sandeep, can you tell me which are called as row headers? Okay. Ravi, can you tell me yeah. Which are called as row headers? Mm, yeah, perfect. Profit and sales are column headers. Yeah. Right. Okay, so now that we have discussed about this borders and all, now we'll see lines. So this we have seen in one of the pie chart. So while we were doing, we have used to remove zero lines. We have used this thing. So this also, let's say, so I'll just create some line chart and all. To create a line chart, we need to have an order dates. and make it as month. Okay. And now we will see how to use lines. Okay. Okay. So if you see in rows, we have some grid lines. So for every 20K difference, for 100K to 20K, 120K, you have a grid line like this. And if you don't want to see those grid lines, so these are in rows, right? So you see a line in rows. So by default, Tableau giving you this rows. So you can make it as none, so that you don't see those grid lines. So that it looks very clean. Or if you want to show grid lines, you can keep on this, or you can put a dotted line like this, and you can change the colors. So this way, if you want the grid lines, you can make use of it. Yeah. Or if you want to remove this, you can remove. So that is about grid line. And we also have zero line. Yeah. So zero is starting here. So sometimes what happens is when you have uh, measures like this, okay, so you have negative values also. So sometimes you won't know where it is starting from. So you need to highlight zero line, so that you will understand there is some value which are negatives, and there are some values which you have positive. So by keeping zero line highlighted, you will know which is having more value and lesser value. And we also have an option to show the trend line, show trend line. So here you can decide the trend line formatting also. So yeah, so trend line is shown with a dotted line, or if you want to see a line, or if you want to see it in a different color, so you can format the trend line as well. So here we have different options of dotted lines. So this is also same, where we have sheet, rows, columns option here as well. And grid line. So it is also showing the column grid lines. Column and row grid lines. If you go to column, you want to see column grid lines and all, like this you can see. And if you want to show row grid lines, you can see like this. I mean, I'm showing in a clutter way, but I'm just showing how we can use this lines and all. So depending upon your requirement, you can make use of good colors, and you can create formatting. You can make change your formatting. So look and feel wise, you need to make the dashboard. So zero line, you need to color. Zero line when I uncolor. So while seeing the diagram or while seeing the chart, you won't understand where exactly the zero is. You need to find, and you need to find like this. This is a zero line. So if you do it like this, put some different color and increase the thickness. So that it will be highlighted, and you can say, here is the zero line. And we can also format. So there will be, so let me remove this none. The outlines. Okay, so we also have axis rulers. So you see this axis ruler, right? So you can see axis line also can be formatted. You can color it however you want to. So x-axis, y-axis can also be colored, and you have axis sticks. So axis sticks in the sense, for every 2K, you have a number here. So you want to see the tick mark. So you can see a light green line coming across. So that tick marks you can see. Yeah. So this way we can make use of axis ticks, and drop lines you'll get it for some pie chart, I guess. Let me create a pie chart. To create a pie chart, take one region and sales and click on this, click on pie. And let me create a donut chart itself. I'm just creating a donut chart. So right click on this dual axis and I'll remove this. Make it entire view. Okay. So to remove this zero line, so I'll go to format, go to lines and click on this zero and make it none. So if I make it none, this zero lines will get removed. And I'll hide this shoulder. And I have drop lines. Okay. So there will be some drop lines. So if you want to hide those drop lines, you can remove that. And yeah, so x-axis, y-axis is also available for pie chart, but you don't show it for the donut chart and all. So when you have line chart or bar chart, you can make use of this formatting. So it will be good in bar chart. Drop line is something where you get for, let me show you bar chart. Categories, subcategory. Okay, I will tell you, I will get you one example for this tomorrow. What is drop line and all. Okay, so that is about formatting lines. And not only that, so we have many more other options where you can format reference lines. So for each and every line, you can do that. And we also have drop lines, and we also have annotations, title, and captions that we can change it. So title, basically, this is the title. If you want to put some shading for the title and put some borders, all this we can do. And we also have legends. So legends are nothing but, so this is called as color legend and this is called as size legend. So we can also format these legends. Go to format and click on legends. So you see this right side color legend. You can change the font of those legends. So body, so title is nothing but, so only this title will get formatted. So when I click on body, it will be color, it will be adjusting the inside one. Yeah. So inside, if you want to format anything, you can make the changes accordingly. And shading, so the if you want to change the background color, you can change the background color as well. So like this. And if you want to put some borders for that, so you can see on the right side. So this way we can make some changes for each and every option that is there. And not only legends, we can also do the formatting for filters. Say okay, show filter and go to format go to filters. So if you do changes here, so you can change the values. So body is nothing but this one. So if then inside values, so click on this. So inside values will get changed. If you want to see italic or underline, so you can change that. And if you want to format this title, click here and edit filter or edit title. So here you can format the title. So here you can make it center align and you can change the font or make it italic. So those things you can change it. So title, say edit title and make it size little bigger. Say okay and put it in the dashboard. Yeah, so here you can see that title is getting changed. So if you change the title and make it italic and say okay, so it will change to italic and edit the title. I want to increase the size a little bit. Say okay. Yeah. So this way I can make the changes for filters as well. Filters and inside filter values I can change. So not only that, so I will show you there are some other ways also to format. So you can just right click on this and you can click on format. So you can then and there also you can change the formatting. You can make it italic. So there also you can do that. So I will show you some other options tomorrow and formatting. So any other questions? Okay. So we'll continue in the tomorrow session. Thank you all for joining.